Hello, and welcome back to Star Wars Minute. It's the daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and boy is Chewbacca surprised, these Star Wars movies 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I'm Alex Robinson from AlexRobinson.fun.
I'm Greg Wyshynski from ESPN, where I'm a senior hockey writer, and also the Puck Soup podcast. Do check out the Patreon for Puck Soup, where you can find my writing and my podcast. I'm writing a thing this month on my 5 favorite fictional bars. Will the Mos Eisley Cantina make the cut? Couldn't tell you. Haven't written it yet. Will, though.
Trying to think of
my mental Rolodex is through.
So the inspiration is, I don't know if you boys have seen Top Gun Maverick, but the flight deck in Top Gun Maverick is in a remarkable bar. So we'll go. That's the jumping off point. We'll go from there. I'm not going to pick the one from Roadhouse. It's
right.
But I'm workshopping it. The cantina is in the running.
All right. Good to know. Good to know.
Maz's Cantina.
That's
yes, obviously. I mean, who wouldn't want to go drink at a cantina where there's a treasure room with a lost lightsaber that calls to you? Wouldn't that be amazing?
It's like the added, experience. If you pay extra, then you get to go down into the treasure room, and something will call out to you, and you go. Right. You have a quest.
Galaxy's Edge totally needs to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the different cantina gimmicks, I would rather go to the one where a mystical artifact calls to you from the basement versus the one where you get your arm cut off. Like, I figured that of the two, I'd go to the other one.
Yeah. That kind of spider walrus whatever guy, he's gonna really have a problem with you.
No, you don't want that.
No.
You call him a spider walrus?
Kind of like in between there. He's more spidery than walrus.
He's got the big old thangaroos like a spider would.
Oh yeah,
right.
Kind of tarantula.
And the other ones have multiple eyes, like the other ones that we've seen of his.
Right.
Eyes, so
they have mechanical spider legs when they lose their torsos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're the manufacturers of spider legs.
Right.
The sponsor of today's show. Walrus spider legs.
The Punababa Corporation. But yeah, so today we're talking about minute 120 minutes of Star Wars, a solo party. I keep saying it that way, and I think it's going to stick. 120 starts with Chewie noting the appearance of Han Solo. Hey, look at that. And ends with Beckett just lying down on the beach,
kicking back.
My first question is, how did Han get in front of them? So he leaves the yacht. We see the yacht. Those guys left the yacht, and we're walking. This is like it's like a word problem. So so if Dryden, Voss, and Chewbacca leave, and they're walking at 2 miles per hour, then how did Han Solo get to the other side of them? Does he take a little shuttle or something from the yacht? Does he take a boat? How does he get to where he can cut them off if they left like 20 minutes ago and they were walking?
Literally, the only thing I can come up with is that Chewie and Beckett were lost.
Was Chewie purposely
right? They went walking the wrong way, and then they came back the other way, and lo and behold, Han's there. That's the only thing I can come up with.
My answer is that after doing the Kessel Run, Han Solo is no longer bound by the regular rules of time and space. Nice. He went through the planet to get to that side.
Han Solo enters the Speed Force.
Yeah, he enters.
All right.
Which of course, as you know, won the honorary Oscar the year Solo came out. The Snyderverse put it over.
I do like the idea of Han Solo. Like if Chewbacca was intentionally stalling and kept being like, "Oh, these are heavy. I got to put these down. Hang on a second." And he's looking at his watch, and then Han Solo just running as fast as he can around behind a dune.
He's trying to act all casual. He's
panting and sweating and okay, I got you.
You really had to procrastinate a lot for Han to get there.
2 questions about this scene related to previous scenes. One, do you think when they picked this place to film, they knew how windy it was? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Maybe not how, but they knew there would be wind, and I think they
Like
were okay with that. But
there are scenes when they're with what's her face and her little group of rebels where it is extraordinarily windy.
Yeah.
Point 2 or question 2. Has there ever been a greater moment that proves the existence of the Force than the glue that keeps Woody Harrelson's hair on during these scenes?
It binds the galaxy together. You could.
It is incredible.
Yeah.
It's really incredible.
Alec Guinness too wore tube, so maybe he knew what he was talking about.
I mean, that thing is whipping around like one of those little sprinklers you get a child that has all the arms going, and it never budges. It's incredible. It's an incredible piece. I'm like endlessly impressed as I watch this scene.
It really now I'm blind to this. My Wigdar is terrible. I think I didn't only until maybe a little while ago through talking through it on this season was I like, oh yeah, I guess that's a wig, huh? Okay. But even that, I forget, and then I see it kind of blowing around, and I'm just I just accept it as cool as being part of it.
Yeah,
and that's great. And yeah, you're right. It's a super strong.
It is. They're on a cliff. It is extraordinarily windy. It's like being in a turbine, and
turbine.
Or a turbine. And you're right. Like you're looking at it, and you're just like, oh, look how cool Woody's hair is, just whipping around. Yeah, you'd never know.
Pete, as a residential Wikipedia expert, do wigs exist in the Star Wars universe? Or have they, by now, you'd think that they, with all the stuff they have, they would have some kind of futuristic or retroistic way of, like, if you can make a totally realistic fake hand, it seems like you should be able to make hair that would be, but maybe not. Maybe it's like email. They don't have that.
A wig was a covering of the head made to resemble natural hair. It was worn by people trying to conceal their baldness or as a disguise, as exemplified by the cyborg pirate Atuma Doom.
Wigs of Atuma Doom.
Meanwhile, in Cloud City, Lobot, is there any way that I might be able to find a hairpiece for my main man? I'm just saying. Nope. I've got access to all of Akuma Doom's wigs. You would look fabulous in one of them. I'm just saying that I could hook it up for you in my number 2.
Oh boy. Examples of wig wearers. Okay. I'm gonna read this list and you're gonna laugh at number 3 and then we're gonna keep going.
Okay.
Okay. Examples of wig wearers. Atuma Doom, the aforementioned. Bria Theron.
Who's that?
Don't know. You want to know?
No.
Okay. C-3PO.
How have we not seen that?
Planet of Twilight is a novel, so it's from a book. Sadly, there's no footage.
All right, but before you think it through, what does C-3PO's wig look like?
It's a mullet.
Mullet.
I'm thinking like curly powdered wig, but
like a judge.
You bucket of bolts, the party's in the back.
Right. I do like that with the headband. Kind of one of those ones that's got the headband built into the mullet. I can totally see him doing that, rocking that.
I was thinking long, like a Cher type wig, like a long straight like wig.
Right.
So, man,
C-3PO. Come on.
C-3PO.
What? I like it.
I don't like it.
Carolee
C-3PO.
Kel Tainer, Lando Calrissian as Drebble.
Sure.
Leia Organa Solo, Luke Skywalker as Coral Marcus.
So we don't know any characters that wear wigs just as like a regular thing.
Marlo the Hutt.
If you were to guess that there was a character wearing a wig or a toupee, well, who would it be?
The next one is Padme is next on the list, and so they're
she canonically wore hair pieces.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I'm going to give you one.
Okay,
who's that?
Admiral Piet.
Oh,
he seems the type. right?
Totally could be, yeah.
Seems the type.
Well, we know General Madine was wearing a fake beard.
Yeah.
Because he had a beard when they cast him, and then he shaved it off for the role, and they're like, what are you doing? We wanted the beard.
Yeah, he had that like floppy, like early 80s hair.
Yeah.
Like painted van hair. He could definitely fit the bill.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I feel like Krennic should have worn a wig.
Oh, right?
Yeah, like
like more that like to like accentuate, or like you think it's like the hair.
No, like he's a chrome dome, and when you're mincing through the galaxy to go get traders, you want to look like you've got a full coif. I like that. I think Krennic's the answer.
How awesome would it have been when he was up there on that tower holding Ira Bell hostage, and then suddenly his thing just blows off. He's like, so mad.
you bastard, Ira Bell. I love you for that.
I also like the idea of Vader having under his helmet having a wig because he's so vain. So like when you see like in the chamber with like the thing, like when his helmet comes off, underneath it there's a little wig.
Would it be like a like Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, like almost like a mullet type hairdo, or would it be
too much to handle? I think it would be like business, like a banker kind of like very business centric wig.
Okay.
This had better be good, Admiral, for you to interrupt my perm.
Oh, that was a good run. C-3PO in a wig.
Yeah. Totally worth it.
I don't see how we're going to top that. Star Wars.
Yeah, might as well just cancel the show now.
You can't. There's other minutes to go in this.
Well, Tobias and Han do have a little bit of give and take here, where Tobias is still lecturing him about like, you still don't get it, kid. It's not about you. It's about she's a survivor. She's not going to give up. And
which that did make me think of that. I'm not a huge fan of Curb Your Enthusiasm, but there was that one where somebody was a survivor and they thought it was the Holocaust, but they were on the reality show or something like that.
Yeah, it was one of the guys who won. It was Colby from Survivor who was invited to the same dinner as a Holocaust survivor, and they started comparing about who was the bigger survivor.
Right. And so throw Kira into that mix.
Yeah.
I mean, Beckett's right though. Like that's the thing. Like his world weariness has informed his purview, and he's completely right in the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so along those lines, when he says to Han, he was like, you're nothing like me. Is that meant to be an insult? Is that meant to be a compliment? Is that meant to be just an observation? Just like,
no, that was an insult. That was definitely like you're less of a man than I am kind of vibe I felt.
Yeah, I agree. Like you trust people.
Yeah.
So you're weak. You're weak because of that.
But to a certain extent, he still has a kind of caring streak in there. I think he's like, look, don't like stop trying to be this. You're not this. And so it's not I don't know. Like he's trying to set him straight in a sense, being like, look
get out of this life.
Isn't you.
Yeah. Right. You tried this on. You tried on this outfit. It didn't work. Go do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ironically, it's
work for the worm.
That's basically the same thing Kira said to him before, because he's like, I'm an outlaw, and she's like, you're not an outlaw. You're the good guy.
Right.
He's like, shut up. You're the good guy. And then Tobias starts giving him another lecture, and Han just blasts him.
Yeah.
In cold blood.
Han shot first.
Yeah, Han shot first. Do you think that he saw Beckett slowly unsheathing his gun, unholstering his gun?
Could be. We definitely see it. We get that close-up shot of it. Doesn't he see that himself? Right. Or is he just sick of he's like, oh, shut up with your lessons.
Or did the wind kind of jostle him and he accidentally shot?
Right, like Pulp Fiction. He's like, oh my God, what'd I do?
It was awkward though, because Han shot, but at no point did Beckett shoot and Han's head jerked out of the way awkwardly. So, I mean, that's usually what happens before Han shoots, right? So,
yeah. Well, they didn't have the budget and the time, so they had to just make deal with what they had.
Yeah, you got to leave something for the special edition.
Should we add Beckett shot first stuff to our merch store? Is that a hashtag Beckett shot first? Is that a thing? Can we make?
I mean, it doesn't. I mean, you might sell one to a Samuel Beckett fan at some point, but other than that, I don't think you're going to really break the bank on that one.
Beckett will have shot first.
Right. Exactly.
People think we're talking about Quantum Leap.
Right. Yeah.
Now, when they put this in the movie, like, what is the inspiration? Is the inspiration to give fan service of like the people that are so beside themselves about the way that the New Hope scene was edited? Like what was the point to have him just blast a guy without any provocation?
I think it was basically a jolt. I think it's a good gag. It's a good.
Yeah, it's a great gag.
You expect them to have more of a heart to heart, and then the tense build up, and then I think the fact that it just undercuts it immediately. I thought that was a good. I don't imagine they were thinking of A New Hope, but I could be wrong.
I think it is a little bit.
What came out first, this or Captain Marvel?
This,
because Captain Marvel has the same gag where like Jude Law's about to start spoiler, Jude Law's about to start speechifying and Brie Larson blasts him right. without really
Captain Marvel is 2019,
so after this
was 18, right?
Okay, so there you go. So this was a harbinger of things to come. Yeah.
And, but you guys think there was a element of A New Hope either tweaking or sort of calling back to that.
It's a little bit like, like K2SO in the elevator saying like, I have a bad feeling, and like, shut up, that kind of a thing where it's similar, like Han Solo, he shot first. It's totally like, think not quite, in your face kind of undoing of the special edition of stuff.
No,
just kind of
it's just a big wink,
reference, a little
wink. He shot first. He did the Kessel Run, then he shot first. It's the guy you love.
Right.
He doesn't look or sound like the guy that you really love, but he's doing the things that you love.
Should they have had Tobias say McClunky when he fell down to the ground? Because as we know, George Lucas had edited that in, but it just hadn't been released yet. Until that was like one of his last things was to edit in McClunky into that scene.
It's canon.
So I do like that. This sort of
that's fighting words for Han Solo. Like when he hears the word McClunky, he gets so angry that he has to shoot.
It's like Marty McFly.
Yeah, exactly. So we should edit Beckett being like, "Well, here's the most important lesson, McClunky," and be like, "Whoa!" when he shoots him. He's just doing it like, like calling him, like Buster or something like that. It's just like, it's a totally benign nickname to him, but he calls him McClunky, and that just sets him off.
I do like that, since there were no more sequels after this, basically it's a nice bookend to that scene, because remember Lucas was like, I don't want him killing someone in cold blood in the very first time we see him and stuff like that. So it's nice that it's a kind of echo of that.
Yeah.
So I like that.
But yeah, Chewie, I mentioned it at the top of the show, Chewie is definitely startled by this. He didn't expect Han to do that either, because we got a nice in between. Like we cut to Chewie once or twice during this, and it's neat. Like I noted it. First of all, Chewie's got excellent beach hair. He's totally like, it's all like stringy and fluffed out. But then he also really seems like you get to see him kind of like, whoa, like jump scare, like when Han shoots. He was like, whoa. That's not how we
Chewbacca
play.
was not in on the whole plan. Is he basically being double crossed as well? Because he was like, okay, then you and me and Beckett, we're gonna go get the coaxium and bring it to this.
Right.
So when he kills him immediately,
you were mentioning it on a previous episode. Like maybe Chewie was totally into being with Beckett now, and then and Han shoots him. He's like, wait,
that guy was my ride. Come on,
that was my guy. Yeah.
Although we hear what Chewbacca says. We don't understand what Chewbacca said. Well, at least I didn't. I don't know if you guys picked it up. But
he was like, whoa, dude.
When Han Solo shows up and Beckett's like, well, you're relentless. I'll give you that. And Chewbacca says something to which Han responds like, well, I came as fast as I could, buddy. Like, so he's complaining about him being late maybe, or it's like, I don't know. Again, it could fit in with that. He's like, oh, you're here. I wasn't expecting you to show up. And he's like, I came as fast as I could. And he's like, oh, great. Okay, well.
Yeah. Because I think on the way there, Chewie was explaining the whole thing about his family and stuff. And then Beckett's like, Mala, I know where she is. I'll take you there. And so then immediately gets killed. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
Why?
We could stop for some wasaka berry pie. We'll do a whole thing. Yeah, it'll be great. And then Han Solo shows up and shoots them.
Yeah, I'm good friends with Art Carney.
Yeah. And throughout this whole scene, we get the ticking clock of the yacht, which I appreciated this time more than I think I.
What do you mean the ticking clock of the yacht?
Well, because we know what's been set up with Kira, and if we remember once we see this more than once, we kind of remember maybe what's going to happen soon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even in the next minute. But there's the yacht just sitting there in the background the whole time, and that's going to come into play. And so it's interesting that it's like a ticking clock just kind of sitting there.
Where's Kira? Where did she go? She was right behind us.
You would expect to see her, driving up on a little boat or something any minute now.
Right. No.
Or maybe just bring the whole ship over.
Yeah. I'm going to take the little boat. You drive the building over to meet us. Okay. And we never learned the most important lesson, which is kind of sad.
Yeah. True.
Although it was...
should we always wear a blaster-proof vest?
That's the most important lesson.
Yeah. He does die from one shot. So.
It's a smile. That's the most important lesson.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, wait. I wonder if... Do you think that they... Well, we'll get to that. I know when I originally reached out to you a couple months ago, I was like, all right, I got some good minutes for you. 2 people die. I didn't realize Beckett doesn't actually die in this. He gets... The process of dying starts.
But he does die, right?
He does die, but
ultimately they all die.
Minute, yeah, everybody dies. So Han Solo's in this minute. Eventually, we see him die.
Right.
But no, I thought that he actually dies within the minute, and so but when he does die, what do you think? What do you think happens? Do they leave him there? Do they bury him? Do they drag his body to the boat to the ship?
I would throw him over the cliff, wouldn't you? Like, how fun is that? Like, sure. I'm not saying I'm not a freak, right? But like, if I had a dead body and it was somebody that I killed, and my choices are drag him back to a boat, bury him in the sand, or throw him over the cliff.
Yeah.
Like Fall Guys.
It's not Cliff, it's Woody.
Cheers.
I would totally toss that body right in the water. Like, how fun would that be? Just see what happens.
To picture Han doing that and Chewie being, wait. Oh, I could have eaten that thing.
Yeah. He had the keys. Oh.
I would very much throw him in the water.
Yeah.
See if he bounces off the rocks.
Only tangentially related. One time when we were moving out of a place that we lived in Brooklyn, which was kind of old warehouse, kind of loft living thing, and there was nobody around, and it was the middle of the night, and we were emptying stuff out. We were getting rid of a TV, and we were like this close to being like, let's just throw the TV off the roof. It'll be fun.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. And somehow some cooler heads prevailed, but I still kind of regret that we never did it.
Right. Because all three of us are poisoned by watching Letterman growing up.
Right.
And his whole bit was throwing stuff off the top of the building.
Yeah.
And seeing how cool it was when it exploded, when it hit the ground.
When I was in college,
you stole my TV and threw it off the roof.
Some jerk threw a TV on me from up on the roof. No, in the suburbs, it's the kind of thing where they would, like, every 6 months they would have like big garbage day where you could throw out giant
your bulk items.
Yeah. And someone was throwing away a like ceramic toilet, and so we put it in our car and drove to the local dam and threw it off the dam.
What?
And watched it shatter.
Oh wow, that's
pummeled
incredible.
Against the dam. It was great. No regrets.
When I was in college, somebody was throwing away a toilet. We found it. We brought it back to our dorm room though, and made it part of our like furniture. It sat up on a little shelf with like a thing on it, and it was decor.
They do make good planters. The old toilets, yeah.
But it doesn't sound as fun as smashing it. Throwing it down a dam to smash it sounds amazing. So
damn, yeah, it was good. It was fun.
And now I even more regret about not throwing the TV off the roof. But
maybe you'll get a second chance.
When this episode's over, I'll just throw my TV off the roof.
Why not?
It'll be fine.
Why not?
Just like SCTV.
Well, that then is all I had, I think, for this minute. Did you guys have anything else? Or Greg, did you have any other things from anything that we've talked about so far in Solo that you just wanted to hit on, or anything coming up that you want us to look out for? There's only a couple more minutes left. I can't imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me think here. I guess it starts with Rise of Skywalker and last, Attack of the Clones, then Revenge of the Sith, then The Force Awakens, then Rogue One, then The Phantom Menace. As you know, boys know I'm a Phantom Menace apologist. Then Last Jedi, and then Jedi Empire New Hope.
Are you reading this from a list, or do you have this in your head memorized?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Impressive.
The only major change I think since last time we did this was I've dropped Force Awakens now a little bit. I just feel in rewatching it, I mean, it's entertaining without question. I'll never not respect the incredible job that J.J. Abrams did in resetting the universe and creating characters that could then be carried over through 2 more films. And that will then, as we talked about in a previous minute, revisit in about 15 years when the kids that were all 6 when this movie came out want to be like, where's my Finn series?
Yeah. Broom Boy.
But it's not a cohesive film. So it dropped down a little bit.
I love the first 40 minutes or so, and then the rest of it is kind of
there's that moment where the moment where they go from the meeting Han to Maz's place, where it feels like a half an hour of movie is missing, that should otherwise be there, like another adventure should happen, is a tough one. But yeah, I mean, it's the reverse Rogue One. It's like the first 40 minutes are great, versus Rogue One, where the last 40 minutes are great. So,
agreed.
All right, I know I'm in the minority, but it hurts my heart to have anything. Never mind Rise of Skywalker below Attack of the Clones, but we'll get there. It's going to be that, dude. This next run for you guys is going to be the wildest ride you've had, I think. It's going to, Alex and I are going to break into fistfights every once in a while. It's going to be.
It really is. I don't want to see my friends fight.
I really feel like as a subject for a Movies by Minutes podcast, I think it'll actually be good because it's always changing scenes and introducing new characters. And it's like a relentless, it is constant churning of stuff. So it won't be bad in that sense. There'll always be content coming at us. So,
dude, that's a great point. Like for the simple fact of content for the show, that is one of the deep. I was going to say deepest, but that ain't the word. Densest movies that we have in the Star Wars universe. Densest is definitely the word.
So we'll see.
Well, we're almost done with this, so then we'll almost immediately go. Like you were talking about, there's very little off season for you in hockey, and we'll as soon as we wrap this season of Solo, then we're immediately going to start pre-production for figuring out what the minute breakdown is for Rise of Skywalker. So we'll keep an eye out for some deaths in that one.
Let's see. There was my childhood.
Oh, right.
Artistic integrity.
There's a bunch of fake out deaths. Do you count those? Like, oh my gosh, Chewie died. Oh no, wait. Oh wait, C-3PO died. Oh no, wait. Oh, this, you don't count.
Yeah. Can a ghost die? I
don't know.
Probably happens too.
That's a good question. It's a very
there's obviously like a couple key ones towards the end that I'm sure I'll get roped in for, but yeah, I'm here for whatever you boys want. I'll play any of your reindeer games if you can. At least, again, I need a death.
Reindeer Games Minute is down the hall. They're
man, it's the scene where Affleck rides the snowmobile, because I love that scene.
Minutes are probably available if you ask. But yeah, thanks for making time for us. Thanks for being available. Love to have you on as always, Greg. And once again, keep an eye out for him on ESPN, on ESPN.com, and check out the Patreon for Puck Soup, where they have fun content about food with Greg and Ruby. And while you're there, check out our Patreon. StarWarsMinute.com/Patreon.
Star
We'll get you
Wars.
there. And we don't talk about food or food shows enough. Maybe we should mix in a food show in our chain together.
I mean, canonically, there's a lot of food in the Star Wars universe that could be. I mean, you could do an entire podcast on Jabba's frogs for all we know. So.
More food and Star Wars letters. That was my other idea. I forgot about that. All right, we're bringing that back.
All right.
Star Wars Minute.
We'll see you on the next Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.